and my friend Beth Dugan introduced me to her, and she was like, she's a total badass. She is a Mary Kay rep, and she is a personal trainer that has her own business, and she's a mud wrestler. I was like, I need to know this woman, like, right now. So, with that, Kira Elliott experienced her first march in 2003 when she arrived in Washington, D.C. months before the official start of the Iraq War. The energy of the crowds and the experience of solidarity had her hooked. Since then, she has been part of flash mobs, bank sit-ins, civil disobedience, street theater, canvassing, lobbying, and phone banking. She's been a part of organizing the U.S. Uncut, MoveOn.org, and TYT Chicago. She's also marched and risked arrest on behalf of Occupy Wall Street, Democracy Spring, and most recently, Reclaim Chicago. Just last Tuesday, she was arrested in a demonstration to oppose mass incarceration and Trump's threat to send in the feds to police Chicago. Kira is a self-proclaimed warrior for the matriarchy and is a stand that everyone be valued and heard. Around Kira, people are fearless and in action. Please help me welcome Kira Elliott!
It's 3 a.m., the morning of the Trump inauguration. I'm in an Airbnb in Washington, D.C., feverishly memorizing the preamble to the Constitution. All the time that I've spent in direct action has gotten me in some really crazy situations, but this was gonna be the action of actions. I was working with Democracy Spring, and they had obtained 7 tickets to the Trump inauguration from Bernie electors. Our plan was to go into the inauguration, get in. We were going to interrupt the oath of office. We were going to stand on our chairs and do a call and answer of the preamble of the Constitution. I was the caller. And we were going to rip off our coats and spell out resist with our sweatshirts. Well, picture. I was gonna say like this. Hopefully the picture will come up. Oh, over here. Like that. We practiced until 5:30 in the morning. At about that time, we walked out the door, we got into an Uber, and we took a silent Uber ride to the Capitol building. I was scared. I was so scared of failing. I was so scared of bodily harm. I was so scared of what an arrest in a Trump presidency looks like. I was really scared. We got through security. We went into our section, section 12, and then we snuck up 6 more sections so that we could get right up front. And we sat down, and for 6 hours, we sat there through all the ceremonies, pretended to be Trump supporters, talked and laughed with everybody around us, and underneath the surface, tension was building. Ooh. The time was upon us. Mike Pence was taking his oath of office, and he went to sit down, and then Justice John Roberts gets up. I start to unbutton my coat. He calls up our president-elect, Donald Trump. I start to peel my coat off. He then says, "Please repeat after me. I, Donald J. Trump." And at that moment, I step up on my folding chair and I shout, "We the people!" And my people get up and they repeat, "We the people!" And I shout, and they repeat after me, "Of the United States!" And then at that moment, I forget the words, "In order to form, in order to form." I start laughing. I don't know what to do. I just crack up. That's like my defense mechanism. My friend Ryan picks up where I've left off, and we actually get halfway through the preamble before the shoving starts, the picking up of the chairs, the stepping back onto the chairs, and then picking up of the chairs again. The cops come and they haul us out of there, and we're being hauled through this crowd of Trump supporters telling us we hate America and boo, while we chant, USA, USA, to many, many confused looks in the audience. It was so much fun. So, who here is ready to join the rebellion? Yeah! Let's party, you guys. So, I like to usually start with definitions because it's a super easy way to start a speech. And I looked up on dictionary.com what an activist is. And it was defined as an especially active, vigorous, passionate advocate of a cause, especially political cause. And I thought that was like really lackluster. I don't know what you guys think, but I was like, yeah, that does not even cover it. So I took the liberty of writing my own definition of what an activist is. And my definition is a person who organizes, protests, marches, writes, informs, calls and emails, donates and fundraises, lobbies, boycotts, and or risks bodily harm and arrest on behalf of a cause about which they feel passionately, with the ultimate goal of changing legislation regarding or societal beliefs about said cause. So who in here has done any of those things that I just listed? Yeah, we got a room of activists in here, right on. So this will be easy, right? Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. There are so many, there's so many definitions of an activist, and we need everybody to show up. If you're like me, you're feeling really overwhelmed right now. Yeah? All of these emails from all of these different organizations that you just blindly signed up for right after Trump won the election. I did the same thing, even though I've been in this game for a little bit. And I feel super overwhelmed. So I just have a few pieces of advice, just out of my own participation in this kind of action. And it's as follows. First of all, find out what you're passionate about. You know, what keeps you up at night, or what brings you to tears when you hear a news story about it. Because you're gonna need that fire to keep you going past everything. Because there's always gonna be a resistance, always. And we have the power because we have the people, so we can win. Also, talent, what are you good at, right? I love being a rabble-rouser because I was told to shut up when I was little all the time. So I love being loud. And I love being in a place where it's encouraged to be loud. So, but that's me, you know. What are you good at? Are you a video editor? Are you a writer? Do you like to talk to people one-on-one? Do you like to connect? Are you an event organizer? Do you have a lot of money? Do you have a lot of influence? Awesome. We need you. And there are plenty of organizations that could really use what you have to offer. One organization that I just signed up with that I really encourage y'all to check out because I feel like a place for everyone is called the People's Lobby and Reclaim Chicago. They have a table right outside right now. They do everything from door-to-door canvassing and learning about what it is people really care about, all the way to passing legislation on a state level. There is so much to be done with this group, and I have felt so welcomed since I started working with them. I can't even explain how good it feels to feel like I really have a home again in a political movement. So definitely check out the table with the People's Lobby because they are doing a lot of amazing things. They're even creating a pipeline of progressive liberal candidates to run at grassroots levels, and they're doing candidates and organizers trainings. So if you don't know anything about organizing or any of that, definitely check out what they have to offer. And I actually have an official thing here that I want to read just to make sure that I get it right, The People's Lobby is a membership organization devoted to fighting for a fair economy and a just society. We combine the traditional tools of community organizing with direct lobbying and electoral politics in order to shape legislation, elect progressive candidates, and remove elected officials who serve the interests of the 1%. Through this commitment, we will change the political landscape and redefine what is politically possible. So check out the People's Lobby, because I am absolutely loving it. And then I just wanted to really quickly end and wish all of you a happy eclipse. Today the solar eclipse in Pisces arrived at 7 a.m. and it's the last of the series of eclipses that have occurred in this sign over the last 2 years. And I just want to read a little bit something from ChaniNicholas.com, who is one of my spiritual inspirations. And she says, "May this final eclipse in Pisces remind us of the power of our imaginations and the dangers of getting caught in the intoxication of our delusions. In a climate of increasing violence, delusion is our most costly habit. The refusal to accept difficult aspects of life can quickly lead to our moral decay. A momentary retreat from our reality can bear consequences that take years of hard work to come back from. Pretending that injury hasn't occurred when harm has been inflicted doesn't lessen the impact of that injury. Pain is made double when we are told it isn't pain at all. In a climate of increasing volatility, our imagination may be our greatest currency." Without the ability to imagine a world where justice is served, it is too hard to fight for its future. Without the ability to envision a world filled with promise, we can't muster up the urgency to pick up the pace and get there. Without the ability to imagine a place for ourselves in the world, it is much harder to create it. May we use this moment to reset ourselves, emptying ourselves out and orienting ourselves towards the most compassionate, imaginative ways forward. May we use the eclipse to call up the great healing powers within, giving ourselves exactly what we need without hesitation or restraint. Thank you.